Assuming it's working. Oof. Yes, 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 yes. I think that'll be fine for now. Little to no idea what I am doing, but that is fine. Yay. Yay, yay. Alright, I'm gonna have to assume. Okay. So, this. I think I'm gonna have to go back. Which I don't really want to do, but it's probably the best bet. See if we can get some sticks.
I think I need to lay down.
Chop, chop, chop. Chop, chop, chop.
Wonder if I can drop any of this gear. Feels like night is coming.
This is gonna be such a pain in the ass. So I made a mistake, and I need to rectify it. So I have to go all the way back up, and I have to go all the way back to fucking Coastal Highway. I thought that I was good. I thought that I was gonna leave. I thought I was gonna be done with the region and head to Bleak Inlet, but then something. I realized that I made a goof. First things first, let me eat. God. Hey! Howdy! Howdy. Scientific spirituality, what's good? And I changed. We all changed, man. We all changed. None of us are the perfection which we once thought we were. Alright. Yeah, so I got everything done. I was good to go, and then I realized I done goofed. And I have to go all the way back. I thought that I was good. I thought that I had everything. I had all the things. There's something with the stupid trader that I forgot to do. Hi, howdy. Howdy. I'm like, alright, so
I'd eat snow if the hypothermia killed me.
just load it all up. I don't even care. So here's basically what I'm gonna have to do. I have to climb all the way back up. Let's see if we can get a look. It's really dark, but I have to climb all the way back up that side of that cliff, which I'm gonna do in the morning.
My energy is just disappearing.
So for tonight, I am going to basically prep myself. Is this the one? Yeah. I'm just gonna prep myself to go on this voyage. Yo, appreciate it, the sub. I'm sorry, I'm so like, so I have to, I'm trying to do this I'm leaving Coastal Highway and I'm going to Bleak Inlet for an extended period of time. Like there's this huge thing that I was planning to do, right? But while I left Coastal Highway, there's one last thing I wanted to do with the trader. I thought that I got his quest, but I didn't realize that in order to actually accept his quest, I have to go into the actual trade menu. But when I heard about the quest, I already had a trade active, so I couldn't go back in without canceling it. But I didn't realize that until after I left, and did a little Google search to make sure that I had the trade going or the quest going on. I don't. So before I get all the way to Bleak Inlet and realize this, I'm still in the ravine. So I'm gonna hang out here tonight, prep myself, drop a bunch of crap, climb all the way up, which is probably going to use almost all of my energy just to get to the top of this damn thing. Head all the way back to Coastal Highway, finish off the trade I already had going, wait for another Aurora, call the guy, accept the new quest, and then do my thing. I'm not looking forward to this at all. Like, basically, like, I was hoping that by the time I would, yo, what's up, Mace Windu? Said hi. Dude, yeah, that's kind of the origin of my username back in high school. When episode 3 came out, Burger King had these big posters that would like stick on the windows, and there was this one where it was Senator Palpatine and Mace Windu fighting each other, and I acquired this poster and I had it hanging up in my room in high school. And me and my friends, we were all like into Star Wars and stuff. Like not just the movies, like extended universe stuff. Like we were all nut jobs. And yeah, so Mace Valor, that kind of coincided from that poster being in my room. All right. Pick that up. Make some extra water. Eat. But yeah, that's like the very short version of the origins of my username. I think I'm just gonna leave one of those here. Let's make some extra water. Drink. Thoroughly exhausted. This is wonderful. Yeah, all the boring bits I'm kind of doing in this moment. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna drop a bunch of crap. Oh, I don't even know why I was bringing that, but okay. Yeah, I'm bringing a lot of extra crap that I thought that I was going to just leave behind. Alright, so I think this should be good. This should help with my carrying capacity once I wake up. Yeah, I could leave the skill here. I don't think we really need it. Alright, get right to it. I need to be fully rested. So have you heard of Grandmaster Wolf? No, I have not. That sounds like some cult shit. No offense. Just, you know. Alright, I could leave the bedroll here. No. I have to take it with. I'm most likely going to need it. So, wow. Fuck. Alright. I was hoping that I would have been able to rest all the way. Oh, crap. I shouldn't have drank. I need to All right. Yep, that was dumb. I shouldn't have drank the coffee first. But this is fine. I'll just sleep for another hour. That'll make me nice and thirsty. Also get my rest up a little bit more. What's up with Grandmaster Wolf? What's his deal? Pick up coffee. He's a Buddhist. Ah! Alright, we're still unburdened. We're moving around nice and quick. Oh yeah. Alright, let my I don't know if I'm gonna make it. This is one of the larger. Alright, let's go. This is one of the larger you know. Oh, gotcha. He is going up pretty quick, so I mean, I could just sit off right here. We have a ledge right here where I could, yeah. Let me get off on the ledge. I'm gonna. There we go. Take a breather, and then we'll go back up. All right, finish it off. And then we're gonna just take right off. Try to get to Coastal Highway as quickly as we can. I reckon about 5 minutes to get from here to Coastal Highway. Ooh, no. Shit. Oh, that would have been bad. There we go. Perfect. It's beautiful vistas. Luckily, there's no predators in this particular region, this transition region. So that's like the hardest part. Now we just have to go through the tunnel, go across the somewhat crumbling train track bridge, and then I get into the transition zone. Leave the transition zone, go into Coastal Highway, and then I have to basically go from one end of the map all the way to the other. Let's check something. That should be fine. I'll be able to do that pretty easily. There we go. Yeah, and so now a lot of this is just kind of waiting. There's not really, it's kind of boring. I'm not gonna lie. Like this, man. I'm so upset with myself. Like, there's this part. Like, here's the thing. It's a pretty big game, and I don't know every element of it. So, because of that, I was unfamiliar with how like to get the quest from the trader. It's weird because it's like you would like the way that you get the quest is by like talking with them. So when you talk to the trader, there's two things that happen. You either trade or you have a conversation with him. And the quest comes up from your conversation with him. But in order to accept the quest, you have to go through your trades. But I already had an active trade going. So if I would have gone back into the trade menu, it would have canceled the trade that we already had. And the problem with that is that there's a trust system. And one of the ways you can lose trust with the trader is if you cancel an active quest. So it's just one of these things where it's like, I don't know. It just feels like, I don't know. I have feelings about it. Like, I think mechanically it's a bit clunky, and it's not telegraphed to you. So, you know, I wish I would like had I had the conversation with him first and then gone into the trade menu, it would have been completely different. Oh shit! I gotta lock in. Oh. Sorry, I'm using that stupid terminology, but it's true in this moment. Ooh, let's go. I think that any of all the games that would be like wonderful in VR, this one, because there's like the extent of verticality in this game is pretty intense, because you're dealing with like great changes in elevation, and it would be really, really, really cool to witness. The closest thing to any kind of VR I've ever done is just the thing where the little headset where you put your phone in and then you watch a video, a 360 video. That's like the furthest extent that I've ever done. I've never tried like an Oculus or anything like that. I do think the tech is cool, but it's always been at a price point where it's like, it's not that cool. It's like, I mean, it's interesting tech, but like, you know, for the same amount of money, I could have so much more in life. So, no thanks. So this is like the big journey from one place to another. I go all the way from one end of the map to another. Ooh. See if this broski got anything.
Could end up being useful.
No, nothing I need. Yeah, he was out surveying and exploring and froze to death. Poor sap. So it does sound like there's a... Oh, I don't have my axe on me. Oh crap, there's a wolf right there. I need to remember this area. Because one of the things I've been looking for in this region is birch saplings. And there are some birch saplings right there. Like, I found quite a bit of... maple saplings, which are still necessary, but you need the birch saplings for your damn bow and arrows, you know? And I've had a hard time finding those out here. And so there are some right there. Wonderful. But I would have just taken out my charcoal and mapped the location, but I've had it before where I've been mapping charcoal too close to a wolf, and while the timer's going on for me to map out shit, the wolf comes and fucks my day up. So I'd rather not have to experience that again. I'm making good time. Thankfully I dropped all that crap. Fuck. Oh my god. You're so beautiful. I wonder if I can kill it. I'm probably gonna die. Damn, I missed it. Kind of a waste. Yeah, I was really hoping to like right on it, you know, so I could kill it and harvest its, you know, harvest the what's it called? The damn pelt. That's what I was really hoping for. I'm making great time though. I am making great time. I'm gonna have to stay here for a day at least. And the reason why is I need to wait for the Aurora cycle. So womp womp. Either way, it's gonna basically add at least a day to my whole thing. So I have to go drop off this stuff, complete the trade, pick up the stuff from the trade, then go back and talk to him again to accept the new quest. So if I can do it quickly enough, I could do it all in a single night, which means I could take care of this all tonight and leave the following morning. But there's a good chance, depending upon when the Aurora starts, I may not be able to have time to do both. In which case, I could be stuck here for upwards of like a week or two, which would really, 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 really suck. Because that's kind of what happened this last time around, is that I was all pretty much ready to go. I just needed to do like one more trade with the trader. And then I was stuck here for almost 2 weeks. And like literally I was just passing the days. Like I didn't really, like there is stuff I could have done, but there wasn't reasonably anything I needed to do. So I was just kind of like going through the days. But now I'm in a much more advantageous position. Oh, come on, piece of shit. If we were to chaos magic, plus my own products of truth beliefs is a tool that can be used to practice magic. Is that sort of like the manifestation thing? Yum, 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 yum. Much, much, much. I'm curious if I left. No, I did take everything that was in here. Damn. I'll take a drink, though. Yeah, so belief is... Yeah, that's kind of like... layman's terms, as far as my understanding goes. That sounds like a lot of that. You think and believe it, you manifest the vibrations and the frequencies, and then you alter reality. Which... don't get me wrong, it sounds really cool, it sounds really badass, and to a particular vantage point could be seen as believable, but the greatest form of evidence for that would be to... Damn, I'm gonna have to drink all my coffee. Yeah, the greatest form of evidence, like you would think that if that were a true factual thing, that we would have an overwhelming amount of evidence to support that being a reasonable way to use some sort of metaphysical magic or reality. Not really the other manipulation is not directly tied to as far as I know. Okay, it's just what it sounded like off the top of his head. So if it's not that, because that's what it sounds like, based on your initial description, what would chaos magic be exactly? Don't need that, don't need that.
Wonder if the owner's around.
All dog crap in here. Ooh. Ruined. Yeah, anything that's like left outside, usually within like the first month and a half, 2 months, it's decayed enough to where it's nonsense. I do need to... There are actually some rabbits up here, because I need meat. I need meat to trade. So there are some rabbits up here. I think I'll just kill the rabbits. Yeah, it's like we tend to use different words to describe different things, but it just so happens a lot of those descriptions are like very eerily similar to each other. So it's like, oh no, that's totally different. It's like, yeah, but it sounds exactly like this other thing. Well, it's not though, because we use a different title for it, so therefore it's different. It's like, okay. Alright, that just sounds like, no offense, it just sounds confusing as all hell. It's a tradition of practicing magic, less rigid, not tied to procedures or rituals. I mean, personally, like, even if magic was a thing, it's not necessarily something that I would, like, hypothetically, let's say that, like, these occult ritual magic things are 100% legit. That's not something that I would willingly invite within my life or practice. And it's mainly due to the religious... And I don't like using the word religious, because religious tends to follow practice and rigor, which I don't necessarily subscribe to, like ritualistic tendencies. If anything, I'm kind of more so against that stuff. A lot of my beliefs and practices are more spiritual leaning than they are actual, dogma. You know, and I am so dog shit with a bow. I'm gonna need both of them. Unless I left meat down there. I don't remember if I did or not. What the hell is this damn bunny? I'm so screwed now. Ugh. Jackass. Oh, you piece of shit. You gotta kind of get that feel for it. Ugh! And every time I shoot this, I damage not just the bow, but also the arrows. You miserable piece of shit. It's fine, at least I'm leveling up as I do it. Yeah, anyway, yeah, but yeah, so like that's the thing. If let's hypothetically, let's just shits and giggles. Let's say magic is 100% real and you could do all sorts of fucking right? It's not something that I would want. Personally, for me, I would be rather against that stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, it'd be cool and stuff, but like, to willingly invite that stuff into my life, opening certain doors always come with caveats. Oh shit, I was already ready to go. Okay, perfect. Alright, so I readied the trade. So what this means is that I should get a what's it called? I should get a an Aurora tonight. Which honestly, like, you're supposed to get an Aurora that night. I've tried to pay attention to it. I don't think that it's been a one-to-one tracking for me. I think it's actually skipped nights, so, which really sucks. So I'm going to call it pause so I can use a cookbook. Yeah, as part of my what you could deem as a form of dogma of, judge not others. I don't judge anyone that would do that stuff, but just because you don't judge doesn't mean you don't have an opinion. In my opinion, not that it's ill-favorable, it's just, I would use the term, it's uncomfortable. So, it's not something I would be entirely comfortable to invite and to have and have around. Where's right here. We're gonna go upstairs for a little nappy nap. Alright, so I'm gonna sleep. Let's do 3 hours. It's gonna be long. I should be long enough for me to have enough energy to go to the other side. Which ideally I would have much more. I mean, I guess I could always make another cup of coffee. But I've noticed, like, in these last couple days, like, just to, like, maximize my time, I've been drinking a lot more coffee. And it's one of those things, it's a resource that you really can't get back. So, probably not the best idea to constantly downing what little coffee I actually have. Like, if, like, I could, like, sprint from here to there, but the sprinting alone would exhaust me more than enough to where I would definitely need to sleep again. Which, I will sleep by the time I'm there, but it's like that resource management, right? So, I got 2 ticks going down on my tiredness just walking. If I run, it goes down to 3. So it's gonna run out pretty quickly. So I'm gonna have to sleep no matter what once I get back to the garage, right? No, it's not necessarily that. Like, how do I explain this? Like I said, it's like, I don't care if other people do whatever with it, but it's not something for me. You know? It's kind of like, some people like to drink coffee because they like the effects of it. They're knowledgeable and understanding of responsibly drinking coffee so it doesn't affect them negatively, right? And they enjoy the benefits of drinking coffee. But then there are some people that are aware of these benefits, are aware that if used properly and sparingly can, be done with minimal health ill effects, but at the same time, they just do not want to invite that in. And they shouldn't have to explain why. They have reasons why, but they shouldn't have to explain those reasons. It's like, you can drink coffee. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you like it. I just do not want to drink coffee. I have my reasons, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter for me to explain them. It's kind of like that. Like, hypothetically, if magic were a thing, and being able to transgress with the paranormal side of reality, if that were a concrete 100% legit thing. If all of those, things be present and true, cool, awesome, wonderful. It's not for me though, so it's something I would stay away from. Once again, I have my reasons, but does it really? Do the reasons really matter? No, they don't, because it doesn't affect anyone one way or the other. So why should my reasonings not to do something affect someone else's reasons to do something? Why is someone else putting that much stock in my vantage point, in my opinion? Yay! Okay. It's gonna be a little rough.
Say I missed you. Message received. I'm on my way.
Now I have to do all this dumb shit. Yes, I do. And I guess you could attribute that to some form of a supernatural, spiritual, paranormal, whatever the hell. My perspective of praying is a little different, because when I think of God, I don't think of God as some sort of paranormal entity. I think of him as an actual fucking thing. What he, she, it, whatever, like, I just use the word he because it's a colloquial. God is indescribable. My perception of God is that God is completely indescribable. And we as humans make the attempt to understand him and his nature. And we attribute human language to foster some sort of understanding just to describe him throughout conversation. But at the end of the day, he's an indescribable entity that is beyond the knowing of people within this realm. So my understanding of God is very much akin to like the monad in Gnostic teachings. Remember, I say akin. It's really hard for me to like dictate one way or another a lot of my beliefs because they are evolutionary. And that's not to say that they're malleable and flexible. They're evolutionary in the sense that over time, as I come to understand certain things and grow my perspective, I have a better understanding as a whole. I don't want to sit down with one rigor or another, because at the end of the day, if of anything, there's one thing that I know to be abundantly clear, is that I know absolutely nothing. And I'm okay with knowing nothing. I just have to, like, be consciously aware that, it's a fine tightrope to tiptoe. Drink. Alright, should be good. That's gonna be burnt out by the time we get back. Oh, goodness. So, yeah, so I guess you could say that praying from a particular linguistic perspective of juggling words and language to fit a particular narrative could be seen as, oh, well, you're partaking in witchcraft by praying. That's, for me. Oh, shit, I thought I hit a fucking dog. Oh, wolf. Yeah, but for me, it's like, when I pray, it's not, don't take this super literal. It's just to get my point across. When I pray to God, that is the equivalent of me having a conversation with a friend. It's like, and I don't know, I don't pray the way in a lot of Christian churches here in America, a lot of prayers are about things that people want. And this is attributed to a lot of things in the Bible of ask and you shall receive, right? And then you could go into the more, manifestation stuff. If you believe something enough, it shall happen. Like, they're not verbatim the exact scripture, but there are lines in the Bible that attribute Christ, part of his ministry, saying things like that. Like, he who believes that this mountain can be lifted, if he believes it in his heart, so it shall be done. That kind of, people take that line of logic and then attribute that to the whole power of belief and manifestation. Blah, 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 blah. But I very rarely, when I do pray, do I ever actually ask for anything. Well, at least nothing material. Let's put it that way. I'll share this much. When I do pray to God, there's two things I always ask for. I ask for understanding, and I ask to be, quote unquote, an instrument of his will. In whichever form that may take. And my understanding of those types of requests are for me to reinforce me being on the straight and narrow. I'm a damn dirty sinner. Whatever. I'm human just like everyone else in the world. I am extremely fallible. I have a lot of tremendous faults, and I would hope to God that I could be a better person than I am. And I know that I can't do a lot of these things on my own. I know that I have to be humbled, I have to be reminded, and etc., etc., etc. Another thing I believe, and this is where a lot of Christians don't like me, even though, once again, I say I'm a Christian, but most Christians would say that I'm not, is I believe that at the end of the day, the vast majority of us all hold a small sliver of truth, of the grand whatever, to make sense of this reality and the bigger meaning of everything. We all have a slight portion of the truth that leads down to the road to the divine revelations of the answers of everything. And I think that we're basically using different words to describe the same thing. I hope a blizzard doesn't come in and wipe out this war. I'm making really good time. Like, all I have to do is get back there, get back on the thing, accept the quest. I can sleep, and then I could just bounce out of here. I should probably make more coffee, though, because I am going to need it for the trip. I mean, hell, what is science other than fucking practical witchcraft, for the modern age, Slamming rocks together and add electricity to them to make them do weird, crazy shit, Hell, playing on this computer and shit right now, and communicating with you guys via undersea cables and whatnot, and blah 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 blah. There you go, bam. All of that's fucking like modern day witchcraft. It's fucking super refined alchemy to the fucking most perfected degree that we can for the tech, for the position that we are on the tech tree. You know, these are all things that, from a particular perspective, they could be argued as this, they could be argued as that, which is why everything is ultimately meaningless. The only thing that really matters is love. The only thing that matters is loving one another, caring for one another, you know, understanding that we ourselves are faulty, that we could always do better, and that we shouldn't pass judgment on others because we have so much to have issue with ourselves.
You're back.
Trade.
Here's what I got
All
on
right.
board.
Yay! Finally. Oh, those would be nice, dude. He's got some good stuff here. I don't think I need to also accept this to be part of the trade. Not trying to impose our beliefs on you, and I think. Well, yeah, that's no, you're fine, dude. No, like that. I like this. This is I don't take any offense. Like I said, I could be completely wrong. Me myself, with certain things, I don't think that I'm wrong at all. Like my belief in a God and a higher power is pretty concrete. It's more concrete than it has been throughout my life. My understanding and the specific details are what I have issue with, because I'm just trying to understand it like everybody else in the world. So that's why, like, when it comes to the specific details, I am confident that I am woefully unprepared to even fathom anything concrete there. I can just make my best guess and assumption for what makes sense to me, but the end all of there being a God, that I am like pretty much cemented in. So that's like probably the one thing. Anything else, yeah, it's everything else is all conversational, you know. I think it's, you know, what God created us, right? And we're here on earth and we have these wonderful, like, inquisitive, curious minds. Wouldn't he want us while we're here to fucking contemplate and explore and try to understand? And if this whole thing is about us being together, why would we be at odds with one another when we're just trying to fucking make sense of the great grand universe around us? And people from all walks of life, from all different perspectives and backgrounds, might have some pretty cool fucking ideas. So who the fuck am I to punish myself by not listening to someone else's perspective? Don't have to agree with the perspective, but sitting, listening, enjoying, conversating, that's part of the fun, man. All right.
Call it a day.
Now, the reason why I did that is I have to go find a bunch of bunkers. All of the bunkers that I've been to so far are completely barren, which tells me that in the next few regions that I travel, I have a higher percent chance of finding the correct bunker. So I'm doing good. I am doing good. This last 2 weeks in game have kind of been a colossal shit show and somewhat a waste of time, but you know, that just is what it is. Yellow swag. I need sticks. I need to at least start the damn fire. Yeah, I ran out of wood, so. Oh man, moose. I can't fight a moose right now, I don't have my rifle. Well, I have Barb's rifle in there. I could hypothetically just use that. Got some sticks over here. Oh, yes. So much water. Yeah, I'll make some more water too. Yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna basically prep myself for tonight and then head out in the morning, go back to the ravine and get ready to go to Bleak Inlet. Still have all my stuff. Alright, whatever, yeah, we'll just use the Fire Striker. But yeah, no difference between prayer and witchcraft. Like I said, like, we can use language to kind of justify and dictate anything and claim that one thing is another, you know? Or that two things are intrinsically the same.
All right.
Which is why it's like, you know, there's no point in, like, hemming and hawing over a lot of this stuff. Nope. Need more water. Oh, shit. Didn't mean to take it. Drink. You take more coffee. And so what? This gives me 1, 2. I'm gonna need 1 cup of coffee to leave Coastal Highway. I'll need another cup of coffee to get down the ravine. I'll just make another. And then how much? And I'm gonna need some just water to take with. So how much time we got left? We don't have a lot of time left. Shit. Alright, I think what I'll do is I'm just gonna drink. Oh, didn't want to take that, but it'll help in the future. Okay. Pick up. Yeah, that's whatever. Okay. And then I want to make sure I still have jerky though. How much? Let me get 2 more. All right. Yeah, that's fine. And then I'll bounce out first thing in the morning. Ugh. Okay. In a little while, I'm still going to be streaming, but it's going to be a very, 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 very different stream. Very different stream. I will be playing the game as well, but my camera feed will no longer be here. You will see me. It'll make sense. I don't want to ruin the surprise, but I have a thing that I do every Monday, and I figure I'll do it. I'll do it here as well. What do you think of Santeria, the synthetic product? Can you give me a little bit, like, what is that? What do you mean? Catholicism is a weird one. I can touch on Catholicism. I'm not necessarily against it, but I do believe that they are polytheistic. In, like, obviously not in practice, because this comes down to, like, word choice, right? So they believe in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, but then they venerate the saints, right? So that's what the problem that I have, is that through the practice of venerating the saints, praying to saints, that in and of itself is idol worship, and that is polytheistic. So you're not necessarily saying that the saints are God, or the saints are God's little g, but what you're doing is you're idolizing them. And that's like a more materialistic world problem that I have with celebrities. I'm not a fan of celebrities because most people worship them. I appreciate them for their craft, but I do not elevate them as anything above myself, right? So when I look at, like, Leonardo DiCaprio, who's a colossal piece of shit, when I look at him, I can appreciate the work that he does in the art form of filmmaking. But aside from that, full stop. That's it. Oh, I appreciate what you did. Oh, you wrote a cool book. I appreciate, your skill of the written word. That's it. I can appreciate the works that they've done on Earth, and then we go no further than that. That's kind of it, right? And the problem that I have with Catholicism is their veneration of the saints. It definitely encroaches. Let's drink half of it. Yeah, that should get us. That should get us out for a while. It definitely encroaches areas that are blasphemous according to their own belief structure. Because, let's look at the Ten Commandments. Y'all shall not have any idols before me. I'm a follower of Christ. Even as time has gone on and I've had more time to understand these things, I could even say that the cross being on my arm is blasphemous, because this is also considered an idol, right? At the time in which I got it, I didn't have that belief because I didn't necessarily understand. I didn't understand idol worship, right? I didn't understand what that actually meant. I was young, right? These weren't things, and these things that weren't really talked about in church, because the cross is the cross is just a symbol. It's well, what is a symbol other than an idol, right? That you give reverence to, that has this grand level of importance to you, right? So I'm a follower of Christ, but I don't put a face to the man, right? I don't mind watching media that depicts Christ, that tells us, I like the show The Chosen. I think it's a cool show. But that, it's just trying to depict a belief system and the lore of a belief system, right? You're not supposed to look at the characters as, they're just stand-in representations. They're actors, right? That's why God is supposed to be faceless. Yeah, right? And where does this come in? Because idol worship can very, very greatly lead people astray, as we've seen through human history, and then you bring it up into modern days, right? When you look at celebrities, for example, the modern little g gods of the material world, that people venerate them, people worship them, people adore them. People will make their entire life perspectives and personalities all based off of these wealthy elite of the world. These people that are idolized for their art forms and whatnot. And it's rather destructive. It truly is. It can decimate one's own self-worth. It can give people a very twisted and skewed perception of reality that I believe is actually really unhealthy. I could go on and on. I'm not a big fan of celebrities for a lot of different reasons. But so going back to the whole idol worship thing in Catholicism, they worship idols upon idols upon idols. There's effigies. You walk into a Catholic church, there's effigies fucking everywhere. Let's finish this off. I should have drank the whole damn thing. Okay. Run. Oh, it's supposed to go. And I still don't have a hatchet with me. I left my hatchet back at the train car. I still haven't been to that little cabin. The next time I come through Coastal Highway, I'll actually explore and take my time and enjoy it more. Usually when I do a playthrough and I come through Coastal Highway, I do exactly that. I take my sweet time while I'm here, but this time around I've kind of I've had a particular plan and goals in mind, so I've did that whole thing where I'm just setting myself up for the future as opposed to enjoying where I'm at. So flipping the script on that, that's what I'm doing with Bleak Inlet. Is I have a clear goals planned, but because I'm so low on bullets, that mechanic of being low on a particular resource is going to naturally encourage me to just take my time a little more. Yeah, so, like, I don't get me wrong, man, I'm not, like, I don't have any ill will or hate towards Catholics, but if I were to have a perception and an opinion, yeah, I do believe that they're, in practice, polytheistic. They're polytheistic, they up and down, like, have idol worship. They have a tremendous amount of nonsensical ritualistic practices. You know, I feel like the very nature of how they practice does actually kind of go against the ministry, and this all like boils back towards the Romans taking over that religion and adopting it however they would see fit. Constantine didn't convert because of actual faith; he converted for power. Because Christianity was on the rise, and the Roman Empire was crumbling, and it's like, well, how do we maintain what our hegemony? Well, if this religion's on the rise, let's just take hold of this religion. That's the state religion now, and then we can capitalize and gain power off of our control of this religion, and then that's how that's how the Catholic Church originated. And there has been a tremendous amount of suffering that has been done in the world because of the actions and practices of the Catholic Church. So yeah, I have my own issues with Catholicism, let's say. I'm not the biggest fan of it. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to go on this way. It's fine. Oh, nope, that would have been really bad. There we go. Hooray. Yeah, I think I like with most things, I feel like as always, I get tremendously carried away just answering a very simple question. I don't know anything about Santeria, or I probably do, and I'm just not familiar with the terminology. I've heard the word before, but I'm not. Wow. The weather is absolutely dog shit today. Woo! And we still got daylight, so I should be able to get from here to the rope climb area, sleep for a little while. Oh man, one little slip, dude, that'll end your run. The moment you fall off this, you're dead. There's like a death plane. Yeah, there's and the way this game works is when you die, that's it. It deletes your save. Like the game is like constantly saving. Like there's a little icon that's at the top of the screen that'll come up. That's like, oh yeah, we're saving your progress. Yeah, there's a few times it's been kind of cheap where I've been in a situation where it would have completely destroyed my run, and I've clicked out of it before it had an option to save, and I exited the program, went back into it, and it reverted me to the most recent save file. I've done that. You know, there's sometimes you just want to like control time just a little bit, and it's a video game. Fuck it, right? I don't back up my save files mainly because I don't really know how to do that. I could learn within 5 minutes, but I don't know. I don't know. Like I have no excuse. It just other than the fact that like I'm tremendously lazy. But yeah, like there's a method of called cheating death where you come back to life at another area in the game and you lose your backpack. You have some debuffs on your character for an extended period of time, and I've cheated death. I've spent like a day or two, but then I never go back to the save. So I'm like, usually once I like my main dies, I'm dead. Well, so how do I explain this? I believe that within the faith of Christianity in and of itself has its own guardrails. The problem is that the vast majority of believers don't actually adhere to the ministry. So, you know, like, and a lot of people like to twist the words of Christ because you just like, if you're going off of the Bible, right? And then it's like reading law, right? Like lawyers, like they read the law, but they, you know, they adjust and twist the meaning of the language of it to better fit whatever agenda they got going on. Oh, shit. Okay, this is where we're going. Yeah. Whew. That was intense. So yeah, I do believe that naturally within the faith, if you follow the faith the way it's intended, the guardrails are there. But the problem is that someone always wants to be in charge. Someone always wants to take the fucking lead, and it kind of gets to the point where it's just open and rife for corruption. And I believe that that's one of the big parts of what has decimated Christianity as a religion, is that too often you get people that want to be in positions of power that will stranglehold the faith and twist things to the likings of what will benefit them and their friends. No, God should not. Which feels blasphemous to say what God can or cannot do, but here's my understanding. So God created everyone and everything and blah, 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 blah. All that fun shit, right? There's one great gift that he gave to humanity that... Nope. Hold on. And the great gift that he gave to humanity is this wonderful thing called free will. God cannot... he cannot interfere with the free will of mortal souls that inhabit the material plane of existence. So, the assumption for God to take an active role in setting people straight, that would be him fucking with free will. And that is a blessing and also a curse, right? That he doesn't fuck with free will. Because God doesn't fuck with free will, that's why everything on Earth is so epically fucked. Because, no, I'm not gonna do it. Run. So I have an interesting analogy for this. One that it may not be the best in the world, but I think it's actually really good. Fuck, did I pick that up? Thank God. Ugh, that would have been terrible. This. Okay. Here's my quickie analogy, right? Would it violate free will to remove ignorance or misunderstanding just limited to the Bible? Oh wait, so basically, let me try to make sense of what you're proposing. That when someone reads the Bible, you're essentially getting a um you glance upon the text, and there is no way that you could misinterpret anything that is written. It gives you this divine light that essentially, like, verbatim is perfect, perfect, perfect. I do believe that the very nature of that would definitely fuck with free will. Um, because when you read text, because you remember the Bible is written down by man, okay? So it's man-made text. According to the churches, it's ordained by God. They are words ordained by God, right? But then when you look at like the history of the Bible and how it's been retranslated and manipulated through the churches over time, things have been taken out, things have been added. Words that mean one thing, when translated, there's a loss of translation where it gets misconstrued to being something else. So the Bible in and of itself is not, I can even say it, like, you take a New King James Bible, or one that's even, like, let's look at the Schofield Reference Bible, right? So that was a New King James Version Bible, and the Schofield Reference Bible was a commentary on that. So you have these little reference notes talking about what certain passages and stuff mean. So once again, this is a book that was written by men, cataloged and orientated by men over an extended length of time. And so to say that verbatim, because it's not the original text as approved originally by God, then to say that you pick that up, you look at it, and you cannot misinterpret it, it's fucking with the free will of all of the people that were involved in writing it down. Um, so let me explain. This is the analogy that I tend to have for it, right? Let's say that someone lives somewhere that there's a factory, right? And that factory tends to pollute the land, where the factory is, and eventually the land around this town becomes polluted because of this factory. And one of the bad side effects of the polluted environment is an increase in cancer. And so you have people that live in the town that then get cancer because of the pollution in the environment in which they live. And they were unknowing about this because, let's say that the company was able to bribe and lobby Congress to, like, turn a blind eye, and make sure the FDA would turn a blind eye, etc., etc., right? Um, is it right for God to interfere? Well, no, it's not right for God to interfere, because yes, it's a terrible, horrible thing that those people got cancer. 100%. I agree with it 100%. And yeah, some sort of justice needs to happen towards the people that enacted the environment to become that way, to allow that to happen. I can agree with these things. But in the terms of God's interference, that would be God fucking with the free will and the consequences of the free will of the individuals that run that factory. Free will goes both ways. It goes for good and it goes for bad, right? It's like, it's a very neutral stance on it, because, and there's no, and when it comes to free will, it has to be neutral. You can't, in order for it to truly honestly be, like, you have your free will to make your decisions, live how you want, and deal with whatever consequences come from whatever you want. That's the agreement. I'm not gonna fuck with your will to live and to operate and to experience this life that we have. So does that kind of make sense? Like, it's not a good feeling. Like most anyone in the world would look at that and be like, yeah, we want some justice. And this is where the free will of mankind comes into play, where we band together, we have a semblance of government, we have this, that, and the other. We have all of these things to kind of rally together to try to safeguard the world in which we live, to where we all have a social contract that we operate upon, so that we can do right by one another. But it just so happens that there are people that live in the world that will do whatever they can to benefit themselves and not care about how any of the consequences of their own free will affect others. Does that make sense? All right, I need to get the couple things. Oh yes, so that's that I see what you're saying there, and that's where I invite a lot of Gnostic teachings, where the perception is that the God of the Old Testament is essentially Satan. That's like the layman's easy way to say it. It's a little bit more in depth than that, but that goes into the concept of the demiurge, which it's one of those things that it's like it's poetically as a story. It just thematically kind of makes sense overall. Um, I'm not really sold on it 100% just yet, but as a story, I can see where there's some validity to it. That the God of the Old Testament, being this demiurge type figure, is a rather crazy individual. Like any true, just, loving God, why would they want any type of sacrifice, be it human, animal, or whatever? Like I do find any semblance of sacrifice, like mutilating your genitals, like cutting your foreskin, like all of those things, I find to be rather abhorrent when you think of a loving and just God. Like why would God need that other than to just fuck with us, you know? So this is going to be the part of the stream where I'm not talking with the audience as much, but it will make sense. Continue. Ba 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 da 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 ba da 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 da.
Wait, what?
I came prepared.
Wait, what? Okay, outstanding. Okay, so now we got everybody on here. I'm gonna tell you guys now. I already told Mama D. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna be a little bit somewhat out of commission for tonight. The whole damn house has got COVID except for the baby, so I'm not feeling great. But I'm also not going to just leave you guys hanging either. And I can hold it down for as long as we need to. So I'm not that worried about it. But I just want to let you guys know, as you hear it in my voice, as I have my Barry White / Darth Vader voice going. Luke, I am your father. But but that's how it's going right now. Mace, you doing all right, bro?
I'm Toppy Tippers. How are you?
Fucking sick as shit.
Toppy Tippers.
Fucking sick as shit. So I'm leaning on the three of you. And I know I don't have to worry about it. You got all three of y'all can hold your own, so I'm not worried about it. Like I said, I'll be playing catcher, or goalie. You know what I'm saying? Anytime we go, I'm putting it right back in there. Damn, my boy, what up, boy?
Hold on.
Just on the off chance, Tim, that we're doing Wednesday, because I do worry about how you're feeling, but if you do decide to do Wednesday, what is the topic?
Wednesday's topic. Good question. I think it's no, that's not it.
I am also able to do Wednesday if you want me to if you're
Yeah,
able
you're
to.
more than welcome. Yeah, you're more than welcome. You ain't gotta ask me for that. Oh, it's another You Be the Judge.
That's right.
Ooh, oh,
Yeah.
Because next week is the back-to-back. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
no.
the
No.
conspiracy files next week is let's talk about it.
Oh,
movie
yes,
remake.
yes.
Mhm.
Okay, sorry. I'm so sorry. Yes, you're right. You're 100% right. I do apologize. Yes. Yes, because then the following week, that's when I moved. I moved the Let's Talk About It. Or actually I didn't move it. I just added one in. I'm taking out Battle of the Sexes because we just did not. I didn't properly plan for that, and I didn't plan for it because Ace was supposed to be handling that for me.
Down where you see Stream
And
Geek,
I should have
and
made
then
sure I did that a
on
little better,
Encoder
but it's all
Press
good.
copy,
We roll with the
and then
punches.
go back
and
to
keep going.
OBS where it
Mhm.
says Stream.
So,
then
all
go
right, I'm
on
gonna start the countdown,
Destination,
and we're gonna get this
use
bad
Stream
boy
Key
rolling.
Advanced, and just
Oh,
paste
so
your key.
you're-
And that's
So
it. After
yeah, we're
you
good.
press
All
start
right,
streaming,
I'll see you guys
will
on the other
actually
side.
start streaming
Yep.
on the Shorts page. And don't forget, the most important thing
As
about
soon as I hit the
streaming
button.
is just your personality and how you talk to chat. That's it. That's basic.
Ugh.
And as soon as it starts, it's thinking.
Okay, sorry about that. Good God. That was a lot.
The playbook was written in ink, or so they said. But the field changed the moment that we moved ahead. Circumstances shift, the shadows start to grow. In the script we memorize, it's time to let it go. I see the blitz coming, I see the pressure mount. But it's not how you start, it's the finish that will count. I'm the quarterback standing in the eye of the storm. Shattering the silence, breaking every norm. Call the audible, change the line. We're stepping out of formation and into the design. From the wreckage of the plans we made, we found a light that will never fade. When the world goes dark and the silence lies, look to your brother, look in his eyes. We are the storm that clears the skies. Say it with your chest, together we rise. Together we rise. Together we rise. Yeah, yeah. Together we rise. Yeah. Welcome to the sanctuary, the unscripted truth, where we peel back the layers and we rebuild the roof. No plutonium files needed to crack the code. Just honest conversation on this heavy road. Zero topics off the table, let the record show. This is the realest frequency that you will ever know. I'm scared too. Yeah, I'll admit the fear, but courage only matters when the danger is near. So tune in, lock in, let the hours pass. We're building something solid that is built to last. It's 6 p.m. The sun is going down, but we are the kings of this unspoken town. They want us divided, they want us apart, but they underestimated the strength of this heart. We don't need a teleprompter to tell us who to be. We just need this moment.
Okay. Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing? It's your boy, the Birdman from the Birdman Show. Yeah. You can kind of hear my voice. Birdman's not feeling too well, but it's all good because you know how we rock and roll with this. This bird call is going to be very interesting, so I'm kind of waiting for it. But I really appreciate y'all joining us for this episode of Conspiracy Files. Of course, I've got Miss D, I've got Mace Valor, I've got Bambi and Little Bird over there somewhere. But they're okay. But you guys already know what to do here. Conspiracy Files, Birdman Show recap. It all is what it is. You already know what to do. So why don't you go ahead and do it with us? Hey, that wasn't too bad. So it's all good. It's all good in the neighborhood. So yeah, I am very excited to be here. Oh, you know what? The one thing I didn't do. Let's do this properly. I can't do this without doing this properly. So give me 5 seconds. Here you go. 3, 2, 1. There you go. Sorry, I had to do that. I forgot about that. Anyways, how the heck are you guys doing? Bambi and Little Bird, let's start with you.
We're doing pretty good. I mean, it's been pretty normal stuff, so.
That sounds suspicious. It sounds a little suspicious. Normal stuff, really? Only criminals say, "Oh, we doing normal stuff."
I have 3 children, okay? There hasn't been any like horrible fighting or anything like that between my kids. So
Well, that's
they got
abnormal.
baby mattresses.
Well, that's abnormal. Then what are you talking about? If you got 3 kids, ain't no fighting. Oh, something's wrong. Are they sick? Are they okay?
I think they're fine.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Cool. I mean, you got 3 kids and they ain't fighting. Yeah, Armageddon's happening. Anyways, Miss D, how you doing?
Doing all right. I know you're not feeling well, and I've got my little bowl of ice water. I decided to try a new recipe tonight, and I
Really?
burned my little finger.
What? What? Oh. Oh, so you're trying to ice water for your little finger? Your
Mhm.
little evil genius finger. Yeah.
Pinkies up.
$100 Anyways, that's good. That's good. Maze Valley, how you doing, brother?
Better than I deserve. I'm doing good. Overall, toppy tippers. Can't complain.
That's awesome. That is very freaking awesome. That's what I forgot to do. I forgot to put the freaking lower third on there. Oh, God bless. Anyways, we are as my voice cracks. Good God. We're gonna be talking about North American mythology tonight. Now I know a little bit. I don't know a ton. I know a little bit. So I'm definitely excited to hear what my co-hosts have to say about this, especially Bambi. This is Bambi's topic she brought up, right?
No,
Mine.
Mace did.
It was Mace.
Okay.
It was mine.
Okay, so it was Mace. Okay, so either way, I'm very excited to hear what you all have to say. I am going to since Mace, you brought it up, I am going to ask you what is something that really drew you to this type of topic.
The Epstein files.
Well, there you go.
Well, no, so I do like a lot of like esoteric religious history stuff. And one of the interesting things throughout the course of religions in the history of mankind is that there's a lot of ideas of mythology with hybrid species. Okay. And then looking back towards my own more Abrahamic faiths and the more esoteric heretical texts of the Watchers, the Book of Enoch and stuff, and seeing like how these divine entities were able to manipulate the material mortal body and fuse it with other entities. I mean, they're just fun lore of humanity, of the stories that we came up with over time. And lining that up with more present day stuff of how the elite class of the world are paying off like biological engineers and stuff and doing weird underground experiments with people. And then you line that up with a lot of the 411 missing person cases around national parks. And then the mythology that comes from America's national parks with this mysteriousness. And then you have like the entities of Mothman, a Skinwalker, Sasquatch, all these things. You paint this tapestry and you start connecting these dots. And it's like, ooh, well, that's actually rather compelling.
I like that. Like I said, I think I dated a moth woman before. She definitely had some bug eyes. Anyways, Bambi, what about you?
I have always been really into just about anything supernatural-esque. So, this was a fun topic for me.
All right, cool. Miss D,
Hello.
how about
Uh,
you?
So I kind of like the whole mix of everything. I know, as far as in America, we one of the big things like we have, an urban legend or folklore for every state. Some of them are indigenous beginnings, some are paranormal, and then you've got the theories of experimentation and testing and all of that. So I'm looking forward to hearing all facets of this prism.
If you're grabbing
Yeah.
me, hold on, sorry.
I'm gonna say this. Like I said, I know a little bit. There's some things that I really like about. I'm gonna be honest. Anything supernatural, anything we have to do with anything like this, I enjoy because I enjoy the break from reality that we're living in. It's just something that you can sit there, even though you may not believe it, even though you might say, "Oh, that's just stupid," this and that. It's a break, and I think with a lot of stuff that's been going on in the world, and not just recently. I'm talking about over time. With a lot of stuff going on in the world, it's nice to have that break. It's nice to be able to sit there and maybe speculate on some things. Once again, 100%. We're not saying anything we're talking about is 100% fact. Um, if it's something you like, definitely do your own research. We're not saying it's fact, even though there's been a lot of sites about Sasquatch, Bigfoot, stuff like that. And I've dated a couple of chicks I would consider Bigfoots. But anyways, I've dated a lot of mythology. Anyways, had a couple of Sasquatches in there. Definitely a Yeti or two, which is pretty much the same thing. I think I had a Wendigo, and she just wouldn't go. But I'm just gonna warn you, Birdman's got COVID and I got a fever, so the jokes are gonna be probably a little bit more frequent than most times. So sorry, not sorry. Anyways, let's get this bad boy started. Holy crap! Before we do that though, who do we have over here? We got Faith in the house. What's up, Faith? How you doing? It's good to see you. I know you're happy you don't have school tomorrow. You can stay up a little extra late tonight. All right, I like it. All right, cool. Do you say I didn't see anybody so far? I haven't seen anybody so far on Kick yet. I know Miss D's over there. She said sup. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's one of my other nieces. Yeah, I just been betting myself and the entire family, so it is what it is. Your mom is now my mom, so I appreciate that. She's a lovely woman. Lovely woman.
What is it with like you and grandma just adopting everybody?
Listen, people used to say that was a black thing, and for a long time I thought it was because that's the main time I've seen it. What I've learned, and I know this has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but it's still a good thing. What I've learned over the years, it has nothing to do with race. It has everything to do with the type of person you are. That's all it is. Good people adopt good people. They show their character by saying, "Hey, what I'm saying, even though I know, what I'm saying, I got Monty, with his old, like, that's we're not related, but that's my nephew. You know what I'm saying? Like Monty said he needed something he said, "Hey, I need something, man. I'm coming." You know what I'm saying? What you need, bro? You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with Bambi, with Miss D, with the kids. Now I got, my great nephew over there. I got my great nephew over there. Yeah, all the kids over there. But it's the same thing. Good people have good hearts, and they open their hearts and they open their hearts and their lives and their family and their homes up to other people. And that's what I've learned. And I'm so appreciative of having good people in my life, no matter what their race is. And I think that's something we need more of in today's age in America and across the world. It's just be a good person, for crying out loud. You ain't gotta be perfect. Just be a good person. If you, like it says in the good book, do unto others that you have them do unto you. Well, some of the stuff that's going on in the world, I'm like, hey, you know what? I'd rather just shoot. You might as well just be my enemy, because if you talking about doing all that stuff, you call me a friend? Yeah, friends like that, who needs enemies? Anyways, woo, let's get to talking. Now, Faith, I heard you're into mythology, so anytime you want to chime in, you go ahead and chime in, baby girl. All right, so Monty, since this was your since this was your baby, I'm gonna actually let you start off tonight. What's one you want to hit on off the bat?
Oh, man. I think like probably the easiest one to kind of like transition into off the bat would be good old Mothman.
Okay.
And Mothman, it's more than just the entity of Mothman itself. He is probably like the Superman of mythology of the Appalachian, right? The good old Smoky Mountains off in the east. So he's a humanoid creature that was seen. Hold on, I have this note up. Hold on, where is it? There we go. crap. 1 second. Bear with me. All right, Point Pleasant in West Virginia, back in the 60s. The original sightings described as he's got avian features with this humanoid-like body. So arms, legs, but then, feathers and owl-like structure to the face with the beak and whatnot. It kind of really depends upon who you talk to, but most people look at Mothman with a sense of reverence, kind of like this watcher in the dark, not so much malevolent, but not benevolent either, kind of this entity that essentially watches over the region, and you don't mess with him, he doesn't mess with you, type thing. It's one of those where it's very akin to Sasquatch and Bigfoot, where people have had sightings of this entity, and this could be attributed a lot. We look at it from a secular lens to the very nature of the environment. The Appalachian is seen as very smoky, very foggy. A lot of the hills are very dark, so there are certain lighting conditions with the added fog on top of it, where it's very easy for someone to see an apparition within the fog, just because of the tapestry of the land.
Yeah, 100%. Like I just had it up there. Faith also said he's also like 6 to 7 feet tall. Is some of the stories. I mean, if he's 6 foot tall, that could be anybody. 7 foot to 7-footers, that's a little bit harder to come by in most days. I'm looking for a couple for my basketball team. So if the Mothman out there and you play little hoops, man, come holler at your boy. I can get you. I can probably get you overseas playing ball somewhere. Yeah. Anyways.
Very notable within a lot of the sightings are the glowing red eyes. So
I was about to ask about that
figure in the piercing eyes watching you in the gloomy, smoky shadows. But
now, my first introduction. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go.
Oh, I was about to say my first introduction to the Mothman was the Mothman Prophecies with Richard Gere. So I hadn't really known that much about it. And full disclosure here, okay? Full disclosure. I know it's going to come as a shock to a lot of you out there. The Birdman's black, okay? And so a lot of these, the mythology we're going to probably talk about in tonight's show didn't really come up in my family, okay? It didn't really come up in my circle, around and stuff like. I heard some of it like with my friends and stuff, but it didn't really come up. So a lot of this stuff I'm kind of learning. I've been kind of learning, from like age 26 and up. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, for me, my first introduction to the Mothman was Mothman Prophecies, and they're talking about that and all the stuff that happened with that. So I thought that was interesting. So yeah, I get that. Miss D, what are your thoughts on that?
So Mothman. So understand that Bambi, Faith, myself, we live in the northern Appalachian. So our folklore is a little different. It's not as spooky as your midline to southern Appalachia. But Mothman is definitely one that we've also heard of. He's also known to be he's like a warning. Typically when people have seen him, he brings doom and despair, like the 67 Silver Bridge collapse that killed 46 people. He was seen before then. There have been a couple other incidences where people said that they have seen him, and it's typically right before some sort of major disaster. And just like your southern Appalachia, did you see that? No, you didn't. Oh, you heard that? No, you didn't. When the lights go low, you don't see or hear anything.
Yeah.
Just go about your own business.
Yeah. I do agree. Mothman does appear, as a warning before disaster. I could pretty much say that about a couple of my marriages. Anyways, Bambi, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I was honestly just gonna say the same thing as Mom. He's a bad omen. No. I was also going to bring up the Silver Bridge collapse, but Mom beat me to it.
Well, if you have a different take on it, you can talk about it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's okay for multiple people to hit at one point. It's okay.
All I know is that apparently he was seen right before it, and Mom makes a very valid point. And so doesn't Faith, especially in the woods. If you're in the woods and you see something, don't try to say hello to it. Don't go see. No, you get out of Dodge now.
Yeah. Hey Tabs, how you doing, sis? No, and I've heard that quite a bit. Talking to people who are from around that area. Now I've not had the fortune of being up there. I would love to definitely make a trip there at some point in time.
Well, now you have an excuse to.
I do, and I definitely am gonna exploit that excuse. We've already talked about it a couple times, so that's definitely going to be happening sometime, hopefully soon. But yeah, like I said, my introduction to it, you know what I'm saying, was like like I said, was the Mothman Prophecies. And it was just it fascinated me in general with some of the stuff that's going on. And I at that time did not know this was an actual like folklore. I had no clue. I thought it was a great, interesting idea for a movie. And it wasn't until a few years later, and I was talking to a buddy of mine in my unit. Let me rephrase that. Pause. I was talking to a buddy of mine in the military who I served with. Saying a buddy of mine in my unit, that just didn't sound right. Anyways, we were talking about it, and he was from around that area, or he had family from around that area. And so he's like, "Oh yeah, man." He's like, and he started telling me some of the background. I was like, "Wait, what? That's a real thing?" He's like, "Well, I mean, as real as most folklores go." He said, "But no, it's a thing that it's been talked about." He said, "Well, they don't really talk about it there, but it is a thing." I'm like, "Wow!" And so that kind of got me kickstarted in a lot of this stuff. What'd you say? Oh, what? The grandson was born today?
Congratulations!
Oh, outstanding! Congratulations to the family. That's another life that's coming to this world. Make sure you talk to him. Talk to your grandson about what's going on in the world today. He might want to go back in the womb.
Don't tell my kids. My grandbabies are my favorite.
Wow.
Yeah, I already knew that.
Dang, that's cold-blooded. That's cold-blooded.
Listen, I love my children. I would do anything for my children, but I can spoil my grandchildren and then give them back.
Yeah, so I can't really do that because the grandchild lives in the same house as us. So. I just go to my office.
You say that, but you're really not that bad, and you follow my rules.
I do follow your rules, but that's because I raised you, so you raise your kids very similar to how I raised you. So
yeah, there you go. Like I said, I can't really. I'll just go to my office then. Like, yep, I'm just gonna go to my office. She is acting like a tyrant. I'm going to my office. Yeah, okay. Does anybody else have anything they want to bring up about the Mothman?
Oh yeah, just for me, from the things that I learned from my friends that lived out in West Virginia. Down more in the southern area, and they would like host a lot of festivals and stuff. So them growing up, it was a lot of like the fun mythology, and not so much the worrisome. They were more close, not out as far out in the sticks, more in the urban centers. So their perception of it was more fun as opposed to dismal and grim.
Okay. Now, Ms.
That
D,
seems to be kind of a
admit
thing. When you live near a more populated urban center, your perception of a lot of these things is going to be different than if you're off in the boonies.
Yeah, and that was my point I was going to bring up. Now, Ms. D, you said you're from that area, and so being as how you live in that area, you definitely with this you guys told the stories, growing up and all that stuff. What is your real perspective on it versus somebody who may not be from there and just heard stories?
I mean, well, like I was explaining earlier, I mean, there are different folklore for every state in the country. And Mothman is not necessarily the only type throughout the country. So there are other types of lore very similar. I can't think of them off the top of my head. I do have a list going, but because you find when you're looking at folklore and mythology for the country, so much of it is very similar to like the Loch Ness Monster or Sasquatch or the Mothman, because you've also got like the Jersey Devil, which is very similar to Mothman. There's a couple others. So I really just think it depends on where you are and what the big folklore is in your state. So for some people, they might be like, oh, well, we've got Sasquatch, or and it's kind of the same, just doesn't fly. I mean,
What? Is the Sasquatch out there hang gliding now? What the heck is going on? I have never heard that before. Are you serious?
Well, no, I mean, it's one of those things. I mean, like, just right now on my 50 state one, like Alabama has Huggin' Molly, which is a 7-foot tall humanoid. But her thing is she likes to